Alright, so quick tour of the studio. I realize of all the videos that I have up, I have not gone through the studio. So, quick tour coming up. So welcome to the studio. As I finished up in the theater, I thought it would be a good idea to come back over here and kind of do a walkthrough. So I'm going to do a little bit of a walkthrough and kind of point out some things and let you see what's here. It's not going to be in detail. We'll go through that another time and break out each thing that I use, and probably stick to some of the core stuff that I use all the time, so that you get an idea of what I think is valuable or what I like. You know, use that information any way you want to. This will get upgraded. We'll do more in the future, but this is the studio as it has been kind of laid out before. It is evolving. I'm going to be changing a lot of things as we go forward, but I have a Yamaha motive. This is the 88, obviously, key. I have a Hydrosynth just above it, and a Nord Lead 4. I actually tried to sell this, and the buyer heard a hum, a transformer hum inside the box, and wanted to send it back, which is okay with me because I actually really like it. I just don't use it very much, but it's I plugged it in. I don't really appreciate anything significant, but this room's not silent for me, so probably he just didn't have a silent room to work in, or he does have a silent room to work in and he noticed it more. So I use as my interface the Scarlett from Focusrite and an Octopre for all my inputs. I have a patch bay that essentially everything comes into the patch bay and then jumps down to the interface, and I will, if I need to move things around, I can just use the patch bay to do that. That's something that I'm working on utilizing more efficiently and effectively that I have not before. The audio is Yamaha HS8s and M Audio, the BX8As that I have up front for my reference. You could see Cubase is my main studio platform that I use for audio, and then Final Cut Pro is what I use for the video editing. My central keyboard, my workstation that I use more than anything, is the Kronos. I've tried different keyboards up here, but honestly the size of the Kronos is pretty good, so it doesn't overpower the desk, so I got room to do other things, and it just has a powerhouse of sounds available to it. So I really appreciate that and like that. And then the Mac Studio, which I've talked about a little bit in another video that I have set up. This was the previous Alesis mixer that I'm not using anymore. I've bypassed everything and I'm going directly into the interface. Mixer there just to down mix or mix down some of the mono instruments, so I'm not using a input for every single synth, because you can see there's quite a few here. The Jupiter X, fantastic keyboard. The only issue I have, and you know I'm a little late when I bought this, but this key, get intermittent hits on it, so it's something to do with the key underneath. I might have to send it to get it fixed, or maybe try to fix it myself. The Matriarch, which I love. The Sub 37, of course. The one gets its own little station here with a mother just above, monitor above. It's actually going to the old Sweetwater Creation Station, which is down there. This ironically is what I'm working on now, to try and convert that Creation Station into a network system, so that I can store a lot of my video, audio, backup stuff, kind of create my own cloud. I have a chord radius up top. I have an Alesis multiverb, which I use predominantly with the mono synths as just additional effects for reverb. A line mixer here that again is taking a lot of the mono instruments and down mixing them into so that I can use this reverb with it. We have here, see, it's a mess, the TR-8S, and that actually is going back over to the desk because I'm going to start trying to use that a lot more. V-Synth GT, which is sitting lonely over here on the bottom, which is one of the best synthesizers I have ever owned. It is an incredible powerhouse of sound, and if you've not heard it, well, we'll bring it up at some point and you'll see it. The Arteria Matrix Brute, you know, I got this just because of that. It just is cool. I mean, this is a heavy, solid synthesizer, monophonic, but boy, is it pretty. You just gotta love it. And then the monopoly up top. Kind of some basic synth sounds. I just like it because I thought it was cool when I was a kid, teenager, wanted a synth. I wanted that synth. Here's the Prophet 08, which I'm actually put up for sale. There's some issues with the rotary encoders. I'll talk about that maybe on another video, but you know, they just get dirty and they don't work well. The PE edition apparently is a lot better, you know, but the sounds are pretty cool, so that's nice. Here's my axe from when I was playing in a band back in high school. An old Elise's drum set that I've bought from a friend and I've never used. Washburn electric guitar that I have used a little bit, and this Yamaha acoustic, which is a really sweet. Let's see, microphones. That's just an Audio-Technica that I actually predominantly use as a vocoder in there. The Rode mic, which is a go-to for voice and voiceovers and things like that. And then that's about it. We have the big monitor above. I'm going to move that down a little bit to get it closer to the other monitor. Just the comfort in the room and lighting so that I can see. If you look back here in this corner, it's really dark, and that little light down here doesn't really do much, so I need some sort of floor light that's going to come up, or something in this back corner to light this area so I can see or work back here. And that's about it. So we'll leave it at that for right now on the studio tour.